Hello there everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me at Glasgow International Airport, where we're heading to one of the United Kingdom's most unique regional destinations as we fly with Loganair aboard the iconic Viking DHC-6 Twin Otter from Glasgow Airport to Campbeltown Airport on the Mull of Kintyre. Let's get right into it. Glasgow Airport was fairly quiet this morning and we were through security in no time. As we had already checked in online, we didn't need to check in at the check-in desk. However, if you need to check in at the check-in desk for whatever reason, the check-in desks are located just before the escalators before security. With me being an av geek, I had to go find a place to do some early morning plane spotting from the terminal. Our gate has just been called and we're going to be flying from gate 5 on this morning's flight. Loganair's Twin Otters use gates 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which are located on the eastern side of the terminals here at Glasgow International Airport. The thing I like most about these early morning flights is that the terminal, especially at Glasgow Airport, are almost usually dead and you have the whole entire terminal to yourself. Walking through the terminal, we spotted the two Loganair Twin Otters that are currently in service. Although there is another one, we only saw Golf Bravo Victor Victor Kilo, a 44-year-old original de Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter, and our Viking DHC-6 Twin Otter, Golf Hotel India Alpha Lima. Gates 4 and 5 are located down these stairs, and you just have to go down the stairs to get to the gates, so it's fairly easy. Now you may be wondering why I said Viking instead of de Havilland, and the reason is actually rather cool. Back in 2006, Viking, who are a Canadian manufacturer, bought the licenses to build the de Havilland's DHC-6 Twin Otter-400 series, and so that's why it's called Viking. These aircraft are only about 10 years old, and the one that we are going to be flying on is only 12 years old. After showing my boarding pass and my passport at the gate, we are now starting boarding this 12-year-old Twin Otter, registered as Golf Hotel India Alpha Lima. This Twin Otter looks gorgeous in the Scottish Government tartan livery. Thank you. Stepping on board this beautiful aircraft, the Loganair Twin Otters are layered in a 1-2 configuration, very different to the 3-4-3 config that you will find on some of the commercial 777s. Immediately after stepping on board the aircraft, you can look through into the cockpit, which is a real highlight of mine. We are going to be seated in seat 3A for today's flight, as that's the closest I could get to the front. Row 1 is reserved for crew luggage, and row 2 is an exit row, which is restricted to over 16s only. The Twin Otter has a reading light and also an air vent, which is appreciated on a very retro aircraft like this. As we started our engines, we began our pushback, and it was no ordinary pushback, one that will stay with me for the rest of my life. That was absolutely insane, and probably one of my best aviation experiences so far. The reason why the Twin Otters do that is because they are so light and the engines are so powerful that they do not even need a pushback tone to push them back. With our pushback completed, we began our taxi out to Glasgow International Airport's runway 23. With a Ryanair flight departing in front of us, we got given our takeoff limits and began our takeoff roll. Probably one of the best sounds ever in aviation, apart from the G-90 of course. Let me know down in the comments. Taking off out of Glasgow Airport, we begin our short 31-minute hop over to Campbeltown Airport.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Unfortunately, due to the classic British weather, most of the flight was either spent in clouds or cloud surfing. Cloud surfing is pretty cool though. As most of the flight was spent in cloud, I just spent the whole entire time being in awe at the raw sounds that the Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A34 turboprop engines make. Now we are starting our descent down into Campbeltown Airport, and we are below the clouds, so we are now able to see things outside of the window. We are now nearing the end of our epic aviation experience. I think it'd be time so that I share my final thoughts on today's flight. Overall, this was one of my best aviation experiences ever, and I have to say that flying on the Twin Otter was very, very smooth. Loganair as an airline were really, really good, and from the staff to the pilots, they were very kind. If you're ever in Glasgow and you have a free day to spare, I strongly suggest looking into the Loganair Twin Otter routes, as they are great fun to do on a day trip like we did. The Twin Otters fly to the islands of Barra, Tiree and also Campbeltown, which is the one that we did, which are great for scenic reasons. I can't stress enough how cool this flight was, and I strongly suggest that you take this off your aviation bucket list experience. Being in the air for 30 minutes, we are now beginning our landing onto Campbeltown Airport's runway 11, which brings you right over a beach for a very scenic approach. I'll let you enjoy the landing. Nutter Butter landing to wrap up today's awesome flight. Campbeltown Airport's terminal is literally just a shed, and there are no ground crew whatsoever. The ground crew that help the aircraft are all firefighters, and I believe that they are all volunteers. The things that the ground crew do to help the aircraft is put the chocks on the aircraft, get the stairs ready for the passengers to board and deboard. They also get the bags loaded and unloaded from the aircraft. Hats off to those guys, and I do hope they get very well paid for their job. As we shut down our engines, it really hit home that this flight is not just a flight for aviation enthusiasts, it's a flight that connects people to remote destinations that would have been only accessible by a 3-hour car journey. It really does save a lot of time.
Thank you. Cheers.
Welcome to a very gorgeous Campbeltown Airport on the Mull of Kintyre. That wraps up our flight for today, and I do hope you thoroughly enjoyed the flight. If you do have any thoughts or feelings on this flight, let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Take care everyone. Bye bye.